The theater was quiet in a way that felt gentle rather than empty. Soft lights rested on the wide stage, and the air carried a calm waiting, like a long breath before a story begins. People sat close together, their shoulders brushing, holding warm cups and quiet hopes. This was America's Got Talent 2025, but in this moment it did not feel loud or rushed. It felt patient. The curtains stood still, and the judges' table waited. Simon Cowell sat with his hands folded, his face calm, thoughtful, almost tired from many nights of watching dreams walk out under bright lights. He had seen so much talent, so many stories. Still, he waited, because sometimes the next story changes everything. From the side of the stage, a man watched the lights. His name was Ramon. He was a Filipino comedian with shoulders shaped by years of hard work and a smile that had learned how to appear even on the longest days. His clothes were simple. His shoes showed signs of long walks. He did not look like someone who came from comfort, but he carried himself with care, like someone who respected the moment. His hands rested together, steady, though his heart beat fast. He was not afraid of the stage. He was afraid of forgetting who he was once the lights turned on. Raymond's work had never been easy. Back home, he worked long hours doing heavy jobs that left his back sore and his hands rough. He cleaned, lifted, repaired, and carried. Some days he laughed at work, joking with others to make the time pass faster. Other days, he stayed quiet, saving his energy just to finish. Humor was not his escape from work. It was how he survived it. Jokes helped him breathe when the air felt heavy. Laughter helped him stand again when his legs wanted to stop. He learned early that if you can laugh, even softly, you can keep going. As a boy, Ramon had watched his parents work without complaint. They did not have much, but they shared what they had. In the evenings, when the house grew dark and the heat settled in, Ramon would tell small jokes at the table. His family would smile, sometimes laugh, sometimes just nod. Those moments mattered. He saw how a simple joke could ease a long day. Over time, he learned to listen before he spoke. He noticed pauses, sighs, and silence. That was where his humor lived, in the spaces between words. Now, standing near the stage, Ramon thought of those quiet evenings. He thought of the first time someone laughed hard at one of his jokes. It was not a big crowd. It was one tired coworker who dropped his tools and laughed until tears came. That laugh stayed with Ramon for years. It told him something important. Humor did not need to be loud to be powerful. It just needed to be honest. A soft signal came from the side. It was time. Ramon stepped forward. The stage lights warmed his face, and the audience came into view, a sea of eyes and gentle expectation. He walked to the center and stopped. For a moment, he said nothing. He let the quiet sit. Then he smiled, small and respectful, and greeted everyone in a calm voice. His accent was clear, his English careful. He spoke slowly, not because he was unsure, but because he wanted every word to land. He began by talking about work. Not in a dramatic way, but in a simple, truthful way. He spoke about waking up early, about hands that smell like metal and dust, about clothes that never stay clean. The audience listened. Some nodded, some smiled. He described the tired feeling that follows you home, the kind that sits in your bones. Then, gently, he added humor. He joked about pretending to stretch just to rest. He joked about talking to tools like they were friends. The laughs came quietly at first, then grew. Ramon did not rush. He let the laughter fade before continuing. He talked about how people think tough work makes tough people serious all the time. He paused, looked around, and smiled. Then he said that tough work actually teaches you how to laugh better. The audience laughed again, deeper this time. The rhythm of his voice was steady. His timing was careful. Each pause felt natural, like breathing. Simon Cowell leaned back slightly. His eyes stayed on Ramon. He was smiling, but there was something else there too. Recognition, maybe. Ramon spoke about respect, about being invisible in busy places, about being noticed only when something goes wrong. He did not sound angry. He sounded understanding. Then he told a joke about being noticed only when he stopped working. The audience laughed, and Simon's smile widened. The gentle twist came quietly. Ramon shifted from jokes about work to jokes about dreams. He talked about dreaming while carrying heavy things, about imagining a different life while cleaning someone else's space. He joked about how dreams get tired too. The laughter softened. Some people stopped laughing and just listened. Raymond's voice stayed calm. He did not ask for sympathy. He shared truth. He spoke about humor as a bridge. How a joke can connect people who do not speak the same language. How laughter can say, "I see you," without words. Then he shared a story about telling jokes to himself during the hardest days. He smiled at the memory, but his eyes shone. The audience grew quiet again. The space felt full, not empty. Simon Cowell lifted a hand to his face, not to hide, but to feel. His eyes were wet now, though he still smiled. Ramon noticed but did not change his pace. He finished with one last joke, simple and warm, about how laughter is lighter than anything he has ever carried. The audience laughed and clapped, some standing, some wiping their eyes. When Ramon ended, he bowed slightly. The applause grew strong. He stood still, letting it wash over him. He looked toward Simon Cowell, who was now openly emotional, laughing and shaking his head in disbelief. The laughter and tears lived together in that moment, not fighting, just sharing space. Simon Cowell spoke, his voice honest. He talked about how rare it was to see humor come from such a deep place. He admitted that Raymond's words had surprised him. He laughed again, then paused, letting emotion settle. He thanked Ramon for reminding everyone that strength and softness can live together. Ramon listened, nodding, his smile quiet and grateful. As the moment slowed, Ramon felt something new. Not victory, not pride, but peace. He had told his story the way it needed to be told. He had honored his work, his past, and his humor. The lights still shone, the applause still echoed, but inside, everything felt calm. When he walked off the stage, the world did not suddenly change. His work would still be tough. His days would still be long. But something had shifted. He knew that laughter, shared honestly, could reach places even hard work could not. And somewhere behind him, in a theater filled with fading applause, Simon Cowell wiped his eyes and smiled, reminded once again why stories like this mattered.